On October 8, 1976, 16-year-old Trenny Gibson went on a school hiking trip to the Great Smoky Mountains with around 40 students from Bearden High School in Knoxville, Tennessee. Trenny was known as a quiet and friendly girl who loved plants and nature. She was studying horticulture in school and dreamed of becoming a landscape architect, so a trip into the mountains was something she would have truly enjoyed. The students were hiking toward Andrews Bald and Kauai. However, the weather that day was poor. It was cold, wet, and foggy, and conditions were bad enough that the trip could easily have been cancelled. Trenny was also not dressed properly for the weather because she had accidentally left her coat back in Knoxville. She ended up hiking in jeans, tennis shoes, a sweater, and a blouse. Another student, Robert Simpson, felt sorry for her and loaned her his wool jacket. Teachers instructed the students to stay on the marked trail, avoid going beyond Andrews Bald, and return to the bus by 3:30 that afternoon. After the group reached Andrews Bald and stopped for lunch, Trenny and Robert separated around 1:30 p.m. Robert later said Trenny wanted to head back toward the bus while he stayed behind a little longer. As Trenny walked back alone, several students saw her along the trail. One girl walked beside her for a short time. Another group invited her to sit and rest with them, but Trenny refused and continued moving. One student later said she seemed to be in a hurry. Then, around 2:50 p.m., witnesses saw something strange. They watched Trenny walk a short distance ahead on the trail, stop suddenly, bend down, and step off the right side of the path by herself. That moment became the last confirmed sighting of her. When the students returned to the bus at around 3:30 p.m., everyone realized Trenny was missing. Her teacher, Wayne Dunlap, immediately began searching for her, and another student joined him, but they found nothing. By about 4:30 p.m., park rangers were contacted, and an official missing persons search began in the mountains. The timing could not have been worse. Darkness was approaching, and the weather was becoming more dangerous. Rain, thick fog, strong wind, and dropping temperatures made the trails slippery and visibility extremely poor. During the search, investigators found signs that Trenny may not have been alone where she disappeared. Searchers discovered damaged undergrowth near the spot where she was last seen. Close by, they also found 3 cigarette butts and a half-empty beer can, suggesting that other people may have been in the area. Tracking dogs later followed Trenny's scent past the Kauai Tower lookout area and toward a location about 1.5 miles away. Then, suddenly, the scent disappeared completely. This led some investigators to believe Trenny may have reached a nearby road instead of wandering deeper into the wilderness. The search soon became massive. Around 756 people eventually took part, including park rangers, volunteers, and federal investigators. The FBI even opened a case and followed up on reported sightings of Trenny, but every lead ended in failure. What made the case so mysterious was how impossible it seemed. Trenny had not been alone in some isolated wilderness. She was surrounded by classmates on a marked trail inside one of the most visited national parks in America. Yet after stepping off the trail for only a moment, she was never seen again. Over the years, many theories have been suggested. Some people believe she reached the road and encountered a dangerous stranger. Others suspect someone connected to the trip knew more than they admitted. But nearly 50 years later, the disappearance of Trenny Gibson remains unsolved. No body was ever found, no crime scene was confirmed, and no one truly knows what happened to her that day.